Story 1. I'm here to share a rather unfortunate incident that unfolded in my life. My hope is that no one else has to experience something like this, but perhaps my story can provide some perspective. My wife received an invitation to an upscale company ball, which required formal attire. As the event drew near, her anxiety escalated, and she even questioned whether I genuinely wanted to accompany her. This was out of character, as she usually urged me to join her at such functions, often assigning me tasks if I declined. Her suggestion that I could stay home caught me off guard. I reassured her of my intention to attend, but her uneasiness persisted. As the ball's date approached, she became increasingly engrossed in her phone without offering an explanation. A specific incident in the car piqued my curiosity. Her phone connected to Bluetooth, and she responded with panic, pressing the power button repeatedly. Her behavior was unusual and raised questions about what she might be concealing. While she was shopping, her phone lay on the seat. Driven by curiosity, I decided to browse through her text messages and then her emails. An unopened email disclosed that she had received positive test results for an untreatable medical condition from her doctor. This revelation was staggering, leading me to wonder when she planned on discussing this with me. Our intimacy had waned over the past 3 months, coinciding with the date of the test. The notion of her infidelity crossed my mind. Did I also have the same diagnosis? Why was she hesitant to inform me? These thoughts swirled within me as we arrived at the ball. We took our seats at a table, and she left her small purse there. Her boss, Michael, greeted us and requested the first dance. Watching them closely, I contemplated the possibility of checking her phone while they were on the dance floor. Upon learning of their plan to sneak away, I confronted her. Summoning my courage, I proceeded to search through her phone, uncovering a WhatsApp conversation with Michael. Their messages detailed their encounters, her recent diagnosis, and even discussions about her potentially leaving me for him. Overwhelmed by the revelation, I captured screenshots and shared their conversation on her social media accounts, exposing their actions to the attendees at the event. The aftermath was chaotic, and it's likely that her boss faced consequences as well. Confronted by the situation, she struggled to comprehend the evidence on her phone. I returned her device to her, and the weight of her secret being exposed was evident as she confronted the reality of her actions. She faced the repercussions head-on, departing in tears. Rejecting her request for a ride, she fled into the nearby woods. Moving forward, I focused on my own well-being, scheduling a doctor's appointment to ascertain my health status. Eventually, I learned that Michael had also left town with her, and she never returned for her belongings. Throughout this challenging period, my loyal dog provided me with comfort, and as time passed, I gradually healed from the heartbreak of the breakup. My reaction. In an opulent setting, you uncovered the unsettling secrets your wife was concealing from you. It turned out to be fortunate that she put down her phone, enabling you to expose her infidelity and disgraceful actions to everyone connected to them. It was a stroke of luck that you didn't engage in any intimate activities with her before unearthing the truth. You also avoided the trap of raising an affair child, which could have been a possibility. She exhibited behaviors akin to a succubus, perhaps driven by her boss's wealth. Such a woman cannot be trusted, her values are questionable, and she likely won't change unless life's challenges humble her. It sounds like she is now facing the consequences of her actions. Best of luck to you in moving forward. Now, moving on to story 2. I experienced a rather unexpected situation involving my girlfriend's babysitting job for a well-off family from our church. Their home was elegant, and their kids were generally well-behaved, making babysitting there a relatively easy task. I'm 25 years old, and my girlfriend is 22. Sometimes, I visited her while the children were asleep, just hanging out since they were already in bed. Despite being in that setting, we always kept things respectful and within appropriate boundaries. However, there was one evening that took an unexpected turn. My girlfriend, who was babysitting, suddenly stopped responding to my messages. I grew worried and waited for about an hour without hearing from her. Anxious that something might be wrong, I decided to go over to the house and check on her. Upon arriving, everything seemed normal at first glance. No police cars or any unusual signs. I approached the front door and noticed some movement inside through a small gap in the blinds. I peeked through and saw something that shocked me. John, the older son of the family, engaged in an intimate act with my girlfriend. I was taken aback and turned away immediately, struggling to process what I had just witnessed. I tried to open the front door, but it was locked. Just then, a car pulled into the driveway rather hastily. It was John's dad. He quickly got out of the car and hurried into the house. I instinctively raised my hands and explained that I had just arrived. John's dad didn't pay much attention to me. His focus was on the situation inside. John's mom soon followed, and I could hear the confrontation taking place indoors. Amidst the chaos, my girlfriend screamed, and John's dad was visibly furious. It was clear that they had been caught in a compromising situation, and things were escalating rapidly. I was standing there, feeling utterly helpless and uncertain about what to do. My girlfriend noticed me standing in the doorway, and her face turned pale. She burst into tears, hastily putting on her clothes. She apologized to both John's parents and me before leaving the house hurriedly. After she left, John's mom came outside and closed the door behind her. She apologized for the uncomfortable situation and explained that they had a hidden camera in the living room, allowing them to remotely monitor what was happening inside the house on their phones. Apparently, they were aware of my previous visits and didn't have any issues since I had a positive reputation. They believed their children were in safe hands when I was around. I appreciated her understanding and support during that awkward moment. I confided in my parents about the whole ordeal, and they provided me with guidance during this challenging time. They advised me that I didn't have an obligation to maintain contact with my now ex-girlfriend. It was clear that she had shown herself to be untrustworthy and incompatible for a committed relationship. Shortly after, my ex-girlfriend reached out, pleading for a second chance. She'd assured me that the incident was a mistake and that it wouldn't happen again. Despite her apologies, I had made up my mind. I informed her that our relationship had come to an end, thanked her for the memories, and ended the conversation. She made several attempts to contact me afterward, but I chose not to respond. Word got around within our church community, as well as to her parents, about what had transpired. Her actions had repercussions that extended beyond just our relationship. Eventually, she left town, and I hadn't kept up with her since. Although it was a challenging experience, I learned a great deal about trust and the significance of upholding my values, even during difficult situations. My reaction. Amidst the concern and anxiety, you uncovered your girlfriend's unfaithfulness. It's regrettable that she didn't treat the family or both of you with the respect you deserved. It appears that she lacks the maturity required for a committed relationship or responsible job. You made the wise choice to seek support and end the relationship. A dependable partner wouldn't engage in behavior that jeopardizes their bond, even when they think they're unseen. I wish you the best moving forward. Thank you for taking the time to engage with today's stories. If you enjoyed the content, please consider showing your support by liking and subscribing. Feel free to share your thoughts on these situations in the comments below. Take care.